So there is this running joke among the architectural community that architects only wear black. Of course it's a joke, people wear all sorts of colors. But do architects wear black too much in their daily lives? I don't know if that's completely true. And if it is, why just black? Is it a fashion thing, or is it a deep-rooted unconscious behavior that all architects pick up? Well, I'm trying to find answers and you are coming on this journey with me. Welcome to Blessedarch, and today we are trying to find out, why do architects wear black?
We're them, we're they. We are the men in black.
Okay, first things first, is it even true that architects wear too much black? We need to investigate. Now I have access to a lot of people, so the first thing I do is put up a poll on Instagram and ask people for their inputs. So I put the poll up, but it'll take some time to get the results. So I need to do some research on my own. Now one thing I did was I started to look at all the people I have invited on my channel in this past year. Some of the people you might see more than once, and that is because they've been on my channel multiple times. I wanted to see what they would be wearing in multiple appearances just to make the research pool a little bigger. Okay, so wow, that is a lot of people. So I'm doing some calculations here. And out of the 34 instances where I've had people on the channel, 22 times they were wearing black. That is a good 64%. Maybe there is some truth to this. But you know what? People might have dressed up for a video appearance and they just happen to choose black. We need some more data. So while the poll on my story is up, let me just text a few people. So the first person I'm texting is Viviano. He's an architect from Mexico with his own firm called Mass Operations, but he has worked at loads of places. He even worked for 5 years in Hong Kong with Rem Koolhaas. Okay, let's hold it right there. This picture of Viviano with Rem. And notice something? Each and every person here is wearing black. Coincidence?
He entered stage 3. Soap actress.
The second person I am texting is Ollie. Ollie again has worked at loads of places and he's currently working at Bjarke Ingels Group in the US. Basically, I am asking them the same thing. Do they see people wearing black around them in their daily lives? So while we wait for them to reply, let's actually talk about another aspect. Why would somebody wear the same color every day? So some years ago, we had found out that Mark Zuckerberg wore the exact same clothes to the office every day. I mean, it's not the exact same clothes. Lord knows the man has money for laundry.
People who are already phenomenally rich. I'm talking about Mark Zuckerberg.
But it is the same exact matching pair. The news of this was everywhere on the internet. And there is actually a reason behind why he does that.
There's actually a bunch of psychology theory that even making small decisions around what you wear or what you eat for breakfast or things like that, they kind of make you tired and consume your energy. And I mean, it
kind of makes sense. Maybe designers also wear the exact same clothes every day so they don't have to think about it. Because Lord knows we have enough decisions to make throughout the day.
I think that depends on what you're...
No. That wasn't a question.
You know, to help me understand this black clothes situation a little better, I even called up Mariana, who works at Zaha Hadid Architects, one of the biggest architecture firms in the world, and asked her as to why designers choose to wear black. She actually had an interesting take on it.
The reality is, when you wear black, there is this effect on highlighting what is important that you don't understand that is actually happening. When you're doing black and when I'm wearing all black, you're really focused on my face and on my expressions, and I'm kind of making you to focus on it. So even when you do architecture black and white, the blacks are kind of framing your white. The blacks are making you pay attention to what the architect wanted you to. So when I am wearing black, I'm pretty well aware that I'm kind of driving people's attention to what I want to. In this case, my face, my mouth, my expression. And it's not a coincidence. People wear black with a purpose and with a strategy.
Finally, some explanation. But even this sounds a little too poetic, a little too made up. What's the real reason, Mariana?
And then there's another big explanation for me. I'm going to be honest. I really don't like to spend too much time picking my outfits when I'm going to work. I'm like, okay, so this black shirt and this black trousers and bam, go.
Okay, yeah, that makes much more sense. This is actually interesting to hear. Mariana not only talks about what wearing the color black can do for you, she also talks about the functional aspect of it. Maybe this is the reason so many people all over the world choose to wear black. Oh, and by the way, Ollie just replied. He says, haha, I'm wearing black right now. Coincidence? Big, or Bjarke Ingels Group, is like 50 shades of black. Everyone essentially wears different shades of black. So I'm guessing it's safe to say it's a thing. Architects do have a tendency to wear black. So before we continue, Mom, I'm shooting a video. It's about why architects wear too much black. You want me to say that? I'll put it in the video. Okay, guys, my mom has a theory. She says architects wear too much black because it's slimming. Like black clothes make you appear slimmer than you are. Which is quite a plausible theory if you think about it. I'm not saying all architects are body conscious, but we are sort of obsessed with aesthetics. So maybe my mom has cracked the case. Yeah, maybe not. Now before we move ahead and uncover more things, let's take a very short ad break. Hey, so my name is Rishabh and I hope you like all the content that I create on YouTube. I not only create interesting videos like this one, I create documentaries on architects and even connect with designers all over the world so that we can together understand and dissect their journeys and get advice from them. Now, if you like all the content that I create here, you can actually support me via Patreon. For just as little as $2 a month, you can help me create more content like this and connect with more and more professionals around the world. So do consider supporting the Blessedarch Platform. You can find the link in the description below. And yes, there is an Indian alternative available as well. The link for that will also be in the description. And now, let's get back to our video. Okay guys, back to the video, and while you were away, Viviano just texted. He says, I do. Some people I know, but not as religiously as I do. So another confirmation. Do you want to know where it comes from? Guys, I feel like this is gonna get interesting. Let's get on a call with Viviano.
I've looked into this topic as well, and I was surprised to find once that Borromini, who's a hero of mine, would dress all in black.
Okay, just for a little context, Francesco Borromini was an Italian architect who was a very notable figure in the Roman Baroque architecture back in the 17th century. Alright, back to Viviano.
The only thing of color that he would wear would be these sort of roses that would be on top of his shoes, where the laces would go. You know, Borromini is meant to be a very austere figure, both in his person and in his architecture. But actually, dressing in black had nothing to do with being austere or austerity, because in those times, the dye to produce a black garment would be very expensive. Probably the most expensive color you could wear. So it's actually quite luxurious to wear black. Why do architects wear black? I remember I had a professor in Barcelona that would always wear black. And we asked him once, Professor, why do you always wear black? And he said, well, like, look at you guys, for example. And he singled out a classmate of mine. He said, blue jeans, yellow t-shirt, red cap. What are you trying to communicate? I don't understand you. And that's all he said. that was it. So it was a non-answer or a very true answer. He's trying to communicate something.
Now, whether you believe it or not, your clothes actually do communicate with other people. Maybe before even you do. I mean, I'm thinking back to this dress that Zaha Hadid wore in her talk at the Tate Museum. Even before she speaks, you can look at her dress and find a sense of style that she employs in her design.
You know, you spend 18 hours a day in the office. So basically what you wear is what you wear to the office. And every now and then you go out. And so you're not going home to change to go out. So you're wearing your office clothes outside. And as you get to know the city and as you get to know people, the events that you go to stop being only like dive bars to hang out with other architects and talk about architecture, and start being, you know, art gallery openings or vernissages where you can meet people. So it made sense that whatever you're wearing at the office is something suitable that you can wear outside. And in that sense, black is a nice color to be wearing at a formal occasion. It's never inappropriate, you know? For me personally, it was really about efficiency.
Now, seeing Viviano talk about one personal reason about why he wears black, I wanted to see if other architects have these personal reasons as well. So what I actually did is I started to research. Within my first few clicks on Google, I actually came across this book, Why Do Architects Wear Black? So I actually tracked down the author of this book called Bula Rao, hoping to get an interview with her. And guess what? She didn't respond.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Anyway, I researched a book and she had actually asked the same questions to architects all around the world. From Peter Eisenman to Rem Koolhaas, Richard Rogers, she had asked so many people the exact same question. And what's interesting is all of them have different answers as to why they wear black. One of the really interesting ones in the book is by a German architect called Arno Bradl-Huber. And he writes that architects are in mourning about their unrealized projects. And that is why they wear black. And this, to be honest, is one of the most poetic answers that one could give. I went through some more answers in the book and there are some really good ones there. But after going through it and countless blogs and Quora answers, I actually have my own theory. We might not know where this movement of wearing black started, but we do know that it has caught on all over the world. I think in a way it defines the community of designers. Of course, it's chic, it's stylish, it's much easier to care for than any other color. But I don't think there's a conscious choice involved in this a lot of times. A preference for black is something that architects and designers just develop over time. It might be for functional reasons, it might be for aesthetic reasons, or maybe just as a way of communicating that you belong to the community. Again, I do not think it's a conscious choice. I believe it's like one of those fashion choices you might find weird at first, but then you see it everywhere, like every other person has it, and you get accustomed to it. And slowly maybe you start finding the aesthetic in it. Maybe you try it out and it looks amazing on you. Because when it comes to black, there's a simple fact that everybody looks good in black. I mean, again, this is just my theory. So let's do this. If you're a designer of any kind, come to the comments below and let me know if you wear more black things in your everyday life. And if you do you have a reason for it? I mean, your reason could be very functional or it could just be very poetic. Let's actually make the comment section interesting. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. Please share this video and do subscribe to Blessedarch. If you wish to support Blessedarch through Patreon, you can find the link in the description below. I will see you guys very soon with more such content. Until then, bye-bye. By the way, the result of that poll came out and 5,000 people voted on that poll. And almost 82% said that architects do have a tendency to wear black. So, yeah.